Okay. Hey guys, it's me, Rosalind, Sold Out Saturday Stories. And I just wanted to come on with you guys um, just to chit chat with a really good friend of mine, coworker and friend, who tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. She is recovering, and I just wanted to come on and have her share her experience with us. Everyone that's actually coming down with the virus, it isn't the end. There is hope, and I invited her to come on and share hope because she is a survivor of the COVID-19 virus, in spite of what we hear in the news media. So hold on just one second. I will bring my coworker / my friend, Michele Pearson, in to join us in just a moment. So just bear with me as I allow her to come and share her testimony. Hello, my sweet friend. Are you there? Hey, I cannot hear you.
There you are. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am good. I'm so sorry about yesterday. Oh my
You
gosh.
know what? This work-life balance is a thing.
Well, it is a thing. Are you having a hot flash right now?
Oh my God. You know what? Between this and allergies,
Oh yeah.
and maybe a cold or maybe what is going on.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you said yes to this, because I'm like, do I go? Do I not go? I mean, what's going on? If it's this, if it's that, when do I go?
I get it. I get it. So no,
So
the work-life balance, I'm having a hard time with the work-life balance, just trying to, obviously coming off being sick and then trying to come back and stay focused when you're at home. You know, it's difficult. I'm probably honestly about 5.5 to 6 hours where I can focus, and then the rest is
forget it.
So I'm trying my best, but it's all
I've
good.
been making it not a joke, because it's like for real. Like, I can't wait to retire, number one. But then I'm like, what's going to happen when I retire? If I don't have a hobby or something going on after this, then what am I supposed to do?
Oh, I know.
So
it's been tough. It's been tough. So
anyways, my friend, thank you so much for saying yes to this.
You're welcome.
I know who you are, but for my guests that are my people, my community that will look at this, can you just introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about who you are besides my sweet friend?
Yes. I'm Michele Pearson, and I work at Lawrence Livermore Lab. I've worked there for 16 years. That's how Denise, or Rosalind, and I know each other. I know her by Denise.
Right.
So I have 2 children. My oldest is 23. My youngest is 20. They're both girls, and I've been married for, we just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary last Wednesday. And and I lived in Livermore, and I've lived here for 19 years, and grew up in San Ramon.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
That's a blessing, 25 years.
Yeah.
Your 2 beautiful girls, are they home?
They are home. They're both home. We were actually all home quarantined for 2 weeks.
Wow.
But they're both home. They both live at home currently. The oldest is thinking about moving out soon. But obviously with everything going on, we just kind of have to see how it plays out. So everybody's good. So
how's your faith holding up?
It was challenged a little bit, but I mean, bottom line, I think that, and when we talk about the whole COVID thing, I'll get more into it, but it's just, it's an everyday struggle right now. I mean, because I think there are so many people that are not necessarily sick with the COVID-19, but they're affected by the shelter in place in some way, shape, or form. And
Exactly.
I think a lot of people are really struggling with just how to deal with the day-to-day when your normal routine is so off, and I think a lot of people are
Everything.
struggling with that. And I mean, I know being on quarantine for 14 days and truly the four of us not able to leave the house at all. Our groceries were delivered to our front porch.
Wow.
That was nuts. I mean, that was truly nuts. And I'm someone who can be at home and be in her jammies and have a jammy day and no problem watch Netflix
but
like
14
day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gets a little old.
So Michele, what's going on in Livermore, in our world out there in Livermore where we work? Are people behaving? Are they staying?
So it's funny. So I have now been officially off quarantine since last Friday.
Okay.
So I did go shopping on Friday. I went to Safeway and Trader Joe's on Friday, and there was quite a few people in the store, but like at Trader Joe's, it was a great system. They had you wait outside in a line. It was and they have marks 6 feet apart. So you have to be 6 feet apart. Ideally, you have to wear a mask in the store. I think at one time in the store, they were only having like maybe 20 people in the store at a time. So it was very regulated, which was great. Safeway, the same type of thing. However, it was a little more chaotic because in Safeway in Livermore, our Safeway on First Street, they actually have stickers on the ground now that are one-way stickers. So like you have to go down an aisle one way. So everyone's kind of following everyone instead of coming head on. And a lot of people weren't really paying attention to that because it's a new thing. And I have to admit, the first 2 aisles I screwed up because I didn't look at the ground and then I caught on. So it's a good practice. But what I will say is, and then Danny and I went to Costco yesterday. There are a lot of cars out still.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
So, and Bella and I just went for a walk tonight. We walked about 3 miles right before this, and
I love your area where you can walk.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really, we've got an amazing trail right across the street up in the hills. We've got trails down here, so it is nice. But I still said to her, even tonight, I said, looking, because we could see 580 freeway in the Altamont Pass from our house. There is just a lot of cars out. But, I guess you think that, you hope that they're all truly essential workers, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that have to go to work still.
Yes.
But I'm surprised.
Yeah.
But I have to say, we drove through downtown today, and there was really nobody. I mean, I saw just very few people walking downtown. The movie theater, nothing's open. So it's just weird. It's just weird.
It's almost kind of eerie, though.
Yeah. Oh no,
it's kind of because usually maybe on Sunday the traffic may be lighter, right? But it's like every day, all different times of the day. It's just like a ghost town.
Well, and I even said to her, I go, God, the people that live out in Tracy, Manteca, Stockton are loving this right now, because
not me.
there's no traffic going over the hill, which is so, I mean, it's so nice. But, I do have to take a pause because I look at this as the fact that there are so many positive things that are coming from this, even though it's hell. Okay, we're being real, right? Being on shelter in place and lockdown, being sick, being on quarantine, it's hell. It's not when you're forced to do this, but at the same time, my pause and aha moment is the fact that you're taking that time to reset and really kind of delve deep into some thoughts.
What's important, really?
What's important? What do you really need to survive? We have had, as the family of 4, we've had so many game nights. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
Where just the 4 of us, we turn the TV off and we're sitting and playing in games, The lack of pollution in the air. The fact that Venice, in how many years the water is clear?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, whoa.
And then in India, they could see the mountains in India. I mean, so if this is his way of saying we need to reset, stop, slow down, then I go for it. So
I'm glad that you can, even having had a positive test, on the other side of it, you see the light. you
Yeah.
know,
No,
and
I do.
and it's so interesting. Our spirits connect. You know
Right.
that, right? You
Oh
already
yeah,
know
I
that.
do. Yes.
So I've been calling this shelter in place the Great Pause.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I've been calling it every single day. I'm like, because it's bigger than me and you.
Oh yeah.
It's causing everybody to stop. We
Hmm.
can't go to church. We can't go to, okay, so I'm going to tell you this. My husband's best friend is a scout, baseball scout.
Okay.
So I talked to him earlier about the, what are you going to do without your Giants?
You have no idea how like sad. Well, and you know what the funny thing is what I thought today. Seagulls. The seagulls. What are they doing at the stadium? Because there's no crowds and there's no food for them to scoop down on. So as much as I miss
The
my
little
Giants more
things.
than anything, I thought about the seagulls and them not getting their French fries.
Not getting French fries.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
hilarious.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. But you know what? I'm like, it's a reset. We're
Yeah.
so busy doing this, that, this, that. We don't have time to sit down and
No.
reflect and just be and bond with our families and just things like that. So yeah, you're right. Whatever God is doing, he's like, you stop and reflect and slow down. You don't have enough time.
Right.
Well, now you have a whole lot of time,
I know.
you know, to even rekindle those relationships because we are too busy, you know, and it's a beautiful thing that you four get to sit there and get to know each other and play and laugh out loud, over a game.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's just get down on into it.
Okay.
So, first of all, what made you go get tested?
So I'll start like kind of at the beginning. So I but your community doesn't. So I work at the lab full time, but I've done taxes for 25 years on the side. I work with a friend of mine, and his office is in Santa Clara. So on weekends during tax season, I go down to Santa Clara and I work down there. So during tax season, I work 7 days a week, some weeks. Woo. And I went down on the 21st of March, and I worked in the office, no problem. And at that point, we were already on shelter in place here. And I already knew here in Livermore that I couldn't get toilet paper anywhere. So I thought, I'm going to stop at Target in Santa Clara before I come home to see if I could find toilet paper down there. Well, so I made the mistake of going to Target in Santa Clara.
Wow.
I believe truly that's where I contracted it. Don't know how, because I was careful. I didn't have mask and gloves at that point, but I, did this hand sanitizer before I went in. I did what I needed. I got out of there, did the hand sanitizer, cleaned my keys, cleaned my phone with wipes, did everything, my steering wheel.
Okay.
I left Target. So that was a Saturday. Sunday, I went back down to Santa Clara and worked at the tax office for the day. It felt fine, no problem. Monday, felt fine. Tuesday night, I kind of started feeling a little funky, kind of fluish. Okay. Sophia had started feeling fluish Tuesday morning. Okay. I had a flu shot, Sophia did not. So our symptoms were kind of alike. So she just had body aches and just lost really down. Tuesday night, I started kind of feeling funky, a little tired, just kind of not. Tuesday night in the middle of the night, I know I spiked a fever, but I couldn't get out of bed to go.
We're like freezing off and on.
There, I think it might. Are you better now?
Yeah. Well, you're frozen. You're frozen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're frozen.
Am I okay?
I see you, and you're like kind of frozen.
Pop back on. I'm literally in the room. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're frozen.
Give it a minute. Oh, there you are. Are you better? You just moved. Are we good?
I'm good. Do you see me frozen?
Are we good?
Now we are. Now we're not.
I did a little bit, but now we're good. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Don't know. So Tuesday, but I couldn't get out of bed. But I knew I had a fever. Wednesday morning, I woke up and I just felt horrible, achy, headache, feverish. I had 100 point. So I called the doctor at that point, and I thought I had the flu. I honestly, there was no way I had it. No way. Even going to Santa Clara, that I still didn't think that there was any way that I had it. Then I called the doctor, had a video chat, and then we talked through it. And then they tested because I said I was in Santa Clara on the weekend.
So wait, hold on just a second, Michele, because our reception is really bad. So I'm like, not only getting you frozen off and on, but I'm also getting your voice cutting in and out. And I would really hate to start.
Why don't I do this? I'm gonna try, do you want me to try logging? Do you want me to try logging in from my phone and be on my phone instead of Wi-Fi?
Uh-oh. Hold on. We're trying something different here. Hold on, guys. Hey there.
Okay.
Let's see if that's better.
You need to start over?
You know what? I hate to get, you know what? I may try and glue it together, but it's not, it's really weird. Okay.
Okay, do you want me to try doing it from my phone instead of my computer?
Maybe. Now it looks like you're moving, but I think after we get into your story, it's going to stop again. So
okay.
Anyway.
I have full bars for my internet, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm not sure here either, so that's kind of weird. I try to make sure no one's connected in the house. So you're better. So Sophia had the symptoms. You had symptoms Tuesday.
Right. So then, Tuesday, then I spiked the fever Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, I woke up and I really felt crappy. I mean, I just did not feel good. I called the doctor because I just figured at this point I've got the flu. Sophia had also called the doctor. We both just thought we had the flu. And the only reason that she sent me to get tested at all was because I said that I was in Santa Clara and I went to a Target in Santa Clara. Really? Santa Clara was like one of the hot spots for it. So it was very, very prevalent in Santa Clara. Okay. I would never have gotten tested had I not said Santa Clara.
Okay, so that was one of my questions. Was it hard for you to get in? Because when I called, they're like, oh, well, what are your symptoms? Okay, well, let me have the doctor call you back. So this screening took place first, right? Right, yes. And then three people later, my doctor called me. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah, so I said Santa Clara. They had me tested that afternoon. They told me originally the test would take 5 to 7 days to come back, but just to pretend that I have it and go to bed. And I got the call Friday afternoon that I was positive. Wow. And they didn't test Sophia because her symptoms were slightly different than mine. And they started both Sophia and I on Tamiflu, which is an antiviral. Okay. So even if we would have tested positive, they probably would have still given us the Tamiflu to kind of just help with the virus to see if it helped. So I don't know if that helped lessen it or not. Now, my symptoms were a little bit different than Sophia's symptoms. Okay. I never, ever had the respiratory part. I never had shortness of breath. I coughed maybe 10 times in the whole 14 days.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, and it was really nothing. It was just because it was in the morning when I was a little bit stuffy, from sleeping all night, that I had a little cough, and then I never coughed again. So I never had those symptoms. I had a fever that lasted for 6 days. I had a headache, a severe band headache that was kind of right here constant for about 6 days. I had achy, just pure exhaustion. I had diarrhea.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I did have diarrhea that lasted for about 3 days. Okay. And basically I couldn't get out of bed. I mean, this is the spare room and it's 10 by 12. I was in here for 12 days And in 12 days, I think I was out of this room for not even 4 hours total in 12 days.
Wow. So
Yeah.
was it the pain and the headache that made you just not want to get up?
It was the 2 of the days was I was so achy and so exhausted that even to get up to walk 20 feet to the bathroom that's down this hall,
Mm-hmm.
it was like I had to convince myself that I could do it. That it took me like 15 minutes to get up, to go to the bathroom, to come back.
Mm-hmm.
It was awful. It was just, I had no energy. Like it sucked everything out of me.
Wow.
And
So,
it did. And about day 11 is when I kind of started turning the corner. And by day 13, I was pretty much close to 100%.
that's a long time.
It is.
So they prescribed Tamiflu.
They prescribed Tamiflu because we were treating it like the flu at first.
The flu.
And once we got the results back, I asked them if I should continue with the Tamiflu or if I should stop it. And they said just to continue with it because it's not going to hurt anything. And if anything, it might help, but not 100% sure. So there was no true medicine that they were going to offer up for it. They said that if I had congestion or a cough that I could take Mucinex and like Delsum cough syrup or something. But there was no true like medicine that my doctor was willing to prescribe for the COVID-19 virus.
Right. So that's really interesting because I got the shot too.
Uh-huh.
So you got the shot,
Mm-hmm.
but Sophia didn't get the shot.
She didn't get the shot. So her symptoms were the kind of the same as mine, very achy, lethargic, very tired. She had a fever, I think, one day. She didn't really have a bad headache. She lost her sense of smell and taste, though. So
I heard that,
yeah,
really?
so she had no sense. She took a big old, like, she loves mustard, had a big old spoonful of mustard, couldn't taste it at all. Oh, yeah, couldn't taste it at all. So hers were slightly different than mine. She also ended up getting diarrhea, and she's asthmatic, and she had a little bit of shortness of breath.
Okay.
So she did have a little bit of that. So she was using her inhaler and stuff, but hers never got bad either. So, but every night, when you asked earlier about the faith, every night I would go to bed and I just would pray because I had this fear because of everything you're hearing out in the media. And, there's so many horror stories and I'm thinking, okay, is tonight going to be the night that it's going to change and it's going to get bad? And it thankfully never did. But at the same time, I had that fear every single night before I went to bed.
Especially after day 2. And then day 3.
Yeah.
And day 4.
Yeah.
And then
it kept going.
Yes.
It kept going and it didn't stop. So
the fact that they didn't have you come in.
Right.
Is because you didn't have the respiratory issues.
Correct. I had, in the 11 days that I was bad, I had 3 different video chats with my doctors.
Okay.
And I talked to them on the phone 4 other times. So they were constantly checking on me. And I don't have Kaiser. I've got family practice through Stanford Healthcare. And they were really great. They really checked on me. And I thankfully, I was not their only patient either that had tested positive. So there was a few of us. So they were really on with all of us to try and see, what's going on. So
I hear that they're starting to send tests out, or they're doing like the curbside tests.
So I'm not 100% sure. So I've heard a few different things. I'm hoping that we're going to get, I would love to see an influx of tests available to everybody, but also the tests that we can test the antibodies to see if you have the antibodies against it. Because truly, I don't think that until we really know if you are immune to it, how can they release us back to normal activity?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. What about Danny? Did they catch any?
Yeah. So Danny and Sophia and I all had it. Bella, by the grace of God, I have no idea how she avoided it. She accidentally drank out of my water glass and she used Sophia's chapstick at one point. And she never showed any symptoms. So she could theoretically be one of these people that is asymptomatic.
Right.
So, but again, until we get these tests and see if we have the antibodies, we're not going to know. So my fear is I could get it again. I don't know.
So that's what I wanted to know. If you have it once, can you possibly
So
get it again?
I've heard per my doctors, they said that once you have it, you're not going to get it again.
Right.
But the media and everybody else, and the thing I just saw today about China, there's a whole new second wave of it apparently starting there, and people who had it already are getting it again. So I'm like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. So until we can get those tests with the antibodies, I mean, I'm just going to be living my life as close to the best as I can. And
we have to. I mean, we have to. Can't give up hope now. I guess it's probably really fearful for you. How are you safeguarding yourself? Like going out?
So when we went out to, you know, like I said, so anytime that, like, I've gone on a couple of walks now out in the public, and I'm with one of my girls, and when we come across other people, we cross the street. So we're taking the precautions to be the social distancing that we have to be. We were on a trail tonight, and if we saw people, we turned and went the other way, you know. So in that situation, that's kind of what we do. But like when we went to the grocery store, I had gloves on, I had a mask on, Danny and we all did. And then one of us takes the glove off, and then I'm the one that handles the door and the keys and driving, but sanitizing my hands. And because he's got the gloves on, then he's loading all the groceries. When we bring the groceries, we put them outside, we wipe everything down before we bring them in. You know, I mean, we're just trying to be the best we can, but at the same time, we've had it in the house. So I'm kind of like, so I'm being careful, but I'm not being neurotic. You know? So
I mean, you kind of have to live, but it's still, I mean, you have to just move around the world differently, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So
I just have to be cautious.
Are you 100% better? I know a couple of days we talked, you said, okay, I'm like 80. I'm like,
no, I am officially, I would say probably as of Saturday, this past Saturday is when I finally felt 100%.
So everybody in the house is good right now.
Everybody's 100%. Yeah.
It's so scary. So you also mentioned, I'm so glad that you said yes to this, because I want people to know that if you do test positive, it's not necessarily, you know, the end for you.
No,
you know, people are recovering, you know?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, the ironic part is before I tested positive, I was really watching the news and looking at the numbers and everything. And then once I became a number, I stopped looking, because I'm like, I'm in that statistic now.
I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. And I truly felt that, like I said, when every night I'd go to bed and I'm like, I'm praying for myself. I'm praying for my family. I was praying that Bella doesn't get it, because Bella's got pretty bad asthma. So if she started exhibiting symptoms, would it go the other way, you know? But at the same time, I was lucky. I had a mild to moderate case of it. I don't have any underlying health issues. I'm healthy. Aside from being, you know, probably a little heavier than I should be.
Well, hey, after y'all are, girl, I'm like, where'd this come from?
You know what I mean? So basically, I'm a healthy person, you know. And the other thing is that I'm white, I'm 50, you know, so they're saying, you know, the demographics that they're giving are, you know, they were saying African Americans and Hispanic, you know, and I'm like, this is crazy. Well, I'm the epitome of not that, and I got it. You know what I mean? And
who's to say, right? Really? Yeah, that's very true. So, are you telecommuting?
Yes, I am telecommuting, and even when I was sick, I was still logging. I logged on about an hour a day.
You know what? That figures.
But I was laying in bed. I could do it from bed. But yeah, I am telecommuting.
Let me log on to work. That's the last thing on my mind.
Now, last week I probably worked about 5 hours a day and took a few hours sick day every day. I still was not quite able to do it.
Yeah.
And so this is like my first full week back. And even that, you know, like I said earlier at the beginning of our chat, that it's just tough working from home. You know, if you need to do it once or twice every once in a while, it's so
Yes.
different than having to do it every single day.
Oh my God. I am trying to figure out the work-life balance because I feel like at work, I mean, I've never had to telecommute, but
Yep.
having to do it now, it's like, when do you turn it off?
Oh yeah.
And my little space in here is not set up ergonomically correct, you know, so
Right, right.
I'm having shoulder issues and it's just,
Oh,
okay,
no.
walk away,
Yeah.
but it's hard to walk away.
Yeah.
They're giving us extra stuff to do on top of what
Yeah.
we already have to do to fill our time. I'm like,
Yeah.
and then the life suffers. So it's
Yeah.
like that balance.
It's
Oh my God.
tough. Well, and that's the hard part because, and then you're home, and because I was sick for 2 weeks, you know, and I should have been like home working on projects because I'm here. I
Yeah.
should have been working, but then so because I was behind, then everything kind of got behind. This
Yeah.
past weekend, I did 14 loads of laundry on Saturday. 14 loads because you know I washed all the bedding and everything,
Yeah.
but I'm like, because nothing was getting done, and I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous, you know. So
Well,
it's tough.
that's a part of the pause.
Yeah, exactly.
I have all these things to do. Well, that's a part of the pause, my
Yeah,
friend.
exactly.
You
Exactly.
just keep going, but that's who I know you to be. You just keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
So I have something to show you here.
Okay.
Is it back?
Oh, might be brave. Yeah, you brought it home with you?
I should have mirrored. And I have one more.
Believe. See? Good girl.
Exactly. But yeah.
Oh, it's right. I can read it. That's great.
You gave these to me one day. We were in your office chatting, and I still have them. And I'm like,
That's so awesome.
they're actually in my bathroom on my mirror, so I see it every morning.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yes.
You're so sweet.
So, are you hearing anything about our return to work? I think right now, I think it's April or May 6th.
Yes,
7th?
something. Yeah, I haven't heard anything different than that. So the group that I work in, some of the folks are talking about, some of the folks are a little bit more essential than my job. My job, I can work remotely. Some of my job I can't because I have to be over on the high side there. But for the most part, I can do most of my stuff at home. So for me, it's probably not going to be, you know, until the very end that I'll go back. Maybe some of my team will go back, but I really haven't heard anything concrete yet. I know that, you know, it was the original April 7th, 8th, and that got pushed out because the shelter in order place is extended through May, you know, through the beginning of May.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really don't.
It's going to be, and especially where you are. I mean, up there where I'm at now in Tracy, I mean, we deal with the animals in the pig. I mean, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the valley fever stuff, right?
Right.
Where you are, there's like 6,000 people there.
Right.
How do you maneuver around the laboratory? I mean, you know, so
there's a lot to think about. And we had to, I don't know if you've taken the training that they offered, you know, the training. So I just took that today. But yeah, I mean, it's stuff that you don't even think about, you know, going through the cane booths and how many people are touching the cane booths. And, you know, and I mean, my office, I have an office, thank God. So I can go in and shut my door and work with the door shut all day. It's not a problem. But, you know, you're still having to go through hallways and upstairs and through doors. And so but you know, the sad thing is for me, and I was chatting with some friends this morning because, you know me, I'm a sociable person. I thrive on like my friends, and I love that social interaction. So it's a real struggle to be away from my comrades, you know. I mean, it really is. And I'm having a hard time with it.
Yeah, Michelle, I've been, so usually I host in my home. I have my conversations at home, right? And of course I'm not doing that, but I'm reaching out to different people. I talked to one of my friends that I met social media and this community that both of us are a part of in South Africa, asking her, how is it out there? You know, what's going on? And she said there's military presence all over the place out there. I mean, it's just bad. Their curfew, I think, is like 6 p.m. or dark, you know. And then they're arresting people if they're not in their homes, you know. So, And then I talked to a friend that's in St. Louis, and she's single, not married, no kids, and she's 50, and she's having to shelter in place. So it's affecting everybody in different ways. So so Michele, once the pause is over and we hit play, what is the first thing that you will do, or the first place you want to go?
Well, there's a couple. I'd love to just, I've got 6 girlfriends, and we're called the Special 7. We named ourselves, and we try and get together every month for a dinner out. And so what we've been doing is our Zoom calls on Thursday nights, so at least we can all connect that way. But we'll probably want to go to dinner to Strizzy's, and we'll just sit there for 3 hours and talk, and we eat for an hour and talk for 2. But do that. And I'd love to just I want to go to Target. I want to go to Target.
I need to go back to Target
and just walk around, and I want to see my friends, and I want to be out with my family and do social stuff and visit, and I want to hug people. I want to go see my parents and hug my parents.
That's me. It's like, okay, here. Hey, what is that? But hey.
Well, and I haven't seen my parents at all because I was sick. So they're in Tracy. They're in Tracy.
Oh, okay.
So, and my sister's in Tracy. So at least my sister has been there to see my parents. But because we were sick, I completely stayed away from them. So I have not even done like a porch drop off or anything to them yet. So I'll probably do something this weekend. But
are they on Zoom?
No.
So there's this app called Duo. It's a Duo app on your phone.
Okay.
And me and my sisters and my nieces, because I have a niece in Atlanta, we've been doing coffee via Duo.
Okay.
And so we just pick a time and we just all get our coffee cups and we just chit chat. So,
my mom is not very phone savvy, so she doesn't even really know how to text. So we have issues with that.
That's funny. Now you need to put the app on her phone because it's so easy. And it rings.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. So
maybe I'll try it see if it works.
And it's like, oh, okay. So it's pretty cool. We were talking about how long our nails are and our eyebrows that need to be arched.
Oh no. Oh, I know. I'm a mess. I am a total mess.
Oh my God.
Well, and it's funny because yesterday when we were supposed to call, I was like fixed. I put makeup on and I looked cute. And then today I'm like, this is it. I'm sorry.
This is what you get, Denise. Right? So the way the grocery stores are set up, we're kind of like limited. A lot of the stuff is like we're out of stock and we don't know where to get stuff. But we're still eating. Do you have a I don't know because you haven't had an appetite, but you still been on lockdown on pause. Is there like a quarantine snack?
Well, it's so funny. So Danny's an amazing cook, and he made a huge batch of beans and rice. So we had beans and rice and burritos for days.
Yes.
But, like my favorite are these chips from Trader Joe's. They're chili and lime, like corn tortilla rolls that are like Takis.
Oh, wow.
I've never had a Taki, but apparently they're like Takis, and they're from Trader Joe's and they're amazing. And we've been going through bags of those like they're going out of style. It's really not good.
You gotta hope nobody else find out that they're there and that they're that good because I
know. It's crazy. And my girls have been baking up a storm. So Bella is a baker, so they had baked so much stuff. So we've had a lot of scones and cookies and biscuits and
You're so lucky.
No, I'm really not. None of my clothes are going to fit when I go back to work.
That's okay. Hey, you have those beautiful trails behind you.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
There you go. So is there anything that you've noticed, any habits that you have that you either want to stop doing or habits that you started doing that you want to keep doing? For example, oh my God, Michele, it's so crazy.
I'm on my phone way too much.
Wow.
I am on my phone way too much. And because I can, because I'm here. And, and if I'm watching something on TV. Why do I need to have my phone in my hand playing a game? You know, it's just, so I would love for that to stop. And, and as far as habits that I feel like when we started this, before I got sick, I actually started doing some exercises. I was like doing planks and arm things and leg things. And then I got sick and that all stopped. And so I kind of started my little routine and then it went away. So I'd like to kind of get back to that again, because I feel that being at home like this, my routine is so out of whack. You know, I'm showering midday and, you know, and yeah. And you know, it's like I roll out of bed and I come and sit at my computer and I'm working on my jammies for half the day, you know, have my coffee, do my thing. And then it's like 11:30. I'm like, okay, I'll go hop in the shower. You know what I mean? It's just, but it's crazy. So it's just, I feel just very I'm in control, but I'm out of control, if that makes sense, you know, because this is so not in my control, you know, when I'm just making the best of it.
Yes, Michele with one L. I know. That's, hey, I hope you have an opportunity to take time in this pause to just be.
I have been. I think that
to like stop.
Well, and I think that honestly, I think that being sick kind of helped. I mean, I rested more than I've rested in my whole life. I mean, I literally slept so much, and because I wasn't sleeping very well, I, you know, going in, you know, with being perimenopausal and all that, you know, and hot flashes and night sweats. So, you know, I feel like, I feel like for me, it was almost like I needed it to slow down. So I have to take some good out of it, you know.
Everything happens for a reason, even if it's that, you know, and I'm glad that you can see the hope in that. Stop, pause, no matter how terrible I felt, you know, even though you were still working. Who does that? You do.
But it was only like an hour a day. It wasn't, believe me, and it was only at times if I felt good enough. If I didn't feel good enough, I didn't touch it. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you would want to say regarding COVID? There's hope. I mean, anything that you want to say that I haven't asked you that you just want to share?
You know, I would just say that the biggest thing for me is the misconception, the way it's being presented out there. Okay, it's like they're saying these are the symptoms of it. Well, you know something, you don't have to have all those symptoms. It presents differently in every single person. And I truly, truly believe that there were a lot of people that had this before it became something. Yeah. I really, truly believe that, because there were a lot of people that had this cold, that I'd hear people that have a cough for 3 weeks, you know, and not feeling good. So I just want people to know that you can recover from it. I am living proof. Yes. But if you start to feel sick, don't ignore it. Make the call your doctor. And if you feel, I truly think if you feel that you need to be tested, push. Yes. You are your own best advocate. No one is going to do it for you. You have to fight for what you need. And honestly, until we get all these tests to see if everybody can be tested and the antibodies, but if you're starting to feel sick and you feel that you want to be tested, you need to make sure you get tested.
And that's huge. And that's huge. Because
you can have it and be a carrier and be spreading it to all these other people.
Yeah, and that's huge, because I think for me, even with the symptoms, I'm like, is it a cold? Is it flu-like symptoms? Because I would get a headache and then it's really quick and then it passes and then I just don't feel right, you know, but I'm waiting for that respiratory issue.
But I never had it.
Exactly.
I never had it.
Exactly. So that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. So I would just say, you know, if you get it, you can recover. Just take the time to take care of yourself. That's all.
Yes. That's awesome. Well, my friend, I'm so glad that you are feeling better and looking great. I just want you, and that you're able to go spend time with your family.
Thank you.
Get off the phone.
I will.
No, honestly, I'm so happy that you're feeling better.
Thank
you so much for saying yes, and giving people hope that they can recover. It's huge, and people need to know. So, I mean, because there's a huge fear looming in the earth right now. So.
Oh no, for sure. But yeah, I'm happy to, I will do anything for you, and you should know that.
And likewise, and I do know that. I really, really do. So thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
continue to be safe. I love you, and
I love you.
we will see each other on the other
Soon.
side of the
And
pond.
I'm going to give you a big old hug when I see you.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Have a wonderful
Take care.
evening.
Okay,
Take care.
bye.
All right. Bye.